So in high school, you did baseball and football, right?
That's correct.
Okay, and you excelled in both. You were like amazing. Because okay, I don't know who told me this, but I was told you could have gone pro in baseball, right?
That's true.
My question for you is, why did you choose to go to UCLA and pursue football and get an education when you could have just gone pro immediately?
Okay, so my father, he got drafted 5 times back in the day, and in baseball. So he played for the Kansas City Royals for 3 years. So growing up, like I always trained for baseball. Well, you asked me when I was like 5, 6, 7 years old, I wanted to play Major League Baseball like 5. Like, you know, as I started getting older, football was fun. Like, you know, I love hitting people. So I'm just gonna put that out there.
And there's the tea.
Started getting older, it was just, my father was like, you know, education is essential, you know, because he played and then he was out, you know, 3 years. So it was like, without the education, he had to go get a, you know, regular job. Education is the key to success, and I was like, okay. So as I started getting scholarship offers, I was like, well, maybe I go play baseball in college, just not go pro right now. And that's kind of how that happened.
People recruiting you for baseball too?
A lot of schools were telling me that if I come into their school, I could go play baseball.
Oh, that's cool.
Was over.
Oh, so they told you that you could do both.
Did you have that option at UCLA?
We talked about it, but I had, after I thought I was gonna play, because I graduated high school early and came to UCLA early, and I went through like spring ball and all of that, and I thought I was gonna play my first year. And after I didn't play and I redshirted, I kind of got discouraged. I'm like, I need to just focus on straight football.
What advice would you give someone that's struggling on what to choose when they're so good at 2 things?
I'd say really follow your heart. I mean, like for me, looking at college football, it was amazing looking at the fans, stadiums, atmosphere. So, I mean, that was kind of also what directed me in that way. I just say follow your heart.
Do you play baseball still?
Sometimes I go to the batting cages. I'm
That's
just
cool.
playing baseball. Very, very fun.
That's really cool.
So you double majored while playing football. How did you, how were you able to time manage everything? Because I know you guys get up super early, and then even one major is a lot for a student.
So this is how it happened. So when I first came to UCLA, they told me that I wanted to major in business. So they told me, it was like, okay, we got biz econ, it's the same thing. And I'm like, okay, you know, young bull out there. Okay, I believe it. So I get here, and I remember the first day I had econ 1. And they said, okay, everybody turn in your homework. Homework? It's the first day of class. Whoa. We had a pop quiz on top of that.
On the first day?
First day. So
Were there any readings that you just didn't know about, or this was like...
And you were a freshman, huh?
Mind you, I'm fresh out of high school.
Okay.
I'm just
You came early.
So I'm like, oh no. So I look at the pop quiz and I'm like, I don't know none of this. Like, didn't know nothing that was on the paper. So I said, okay, that's okay. I turned the paper over. I got up, grabbed my backpack, walked right up out of there. Told my academic advisor, you gonna have to get me up out of there. This not gonna work. She was like, well, you know, this is what you... Nah, that's not what I was talking about. After that, it was over. Another first day story, and it was poli-sci something, or it was American political science. The professor told some joke, I guess. The whole class is dying. It was some funny joke, and I was just like, I looked at him, I'm like, bro, we not doing this. So I sat there, and I had to go back to the academic advisor. I told her, this is not it. He told her, I explained the whole story. He told the joke. I didn't get it, and I felt bad.
I didn't get it.
Everybody was laughing, and they was looking around, and it was just me and him in there, and I did that, and I was like, I'll never take another poli-sci class again. But I changed my mind. Poli-sci, it just became somewhat interesting. It became somewhat interesting to see like the different dynamics of politics, and a lot of those classes, I was one of the few African American males in the class. So some of those discussions that we would have with, you know, some of my peers and all of that, it was be really interesting because to see their point of view versus, you know, some of the things that I have to go through being an African American male it was really interesting.
So how are you able to balance everything?
Time management has never really been a problem for me. Okay, what do I have to do? Look through the syllabus and all of that. What do I have to do? And figure it out. You usually find another smart person in the class to figure it out with, and just go from there. My goal was to graduate in 3 years, and I did that.
Oh, and you did. So
That's
he double
crazy.
majored and he graduated in 3
So I
years.
graduated in
Do you know
3
how hard
years.
that is to double major
And
then
then athletics.
and be an athlete and then graduate in less than 4 years?
The poli-sci was first, and it was okay, cool, I was there. And I was trying to go to, I wanted to go to grad school. they wouldn't let me. Our practice times and all of that wasn't matching up with, you know, the grad school hours and all of that. They was telling me I was gonna have to transfer for that. And then it was kind of like, that's why the second major came. Cause it was like, okay, I'm still playing football. And it was like, okay, you can double major. And I'm like, okay, well, I already seen the side of, you know, the political side, but I wanted to really get the African American, you know, that's why I double majored in African American studies and just the different topics that we discussed. It was really fun learning about all of that stuff. Some things I already knew, some things I experienced, but to also be in class with people that look like myself too was encouraging.